Elizabeth Sparkle is a Hollywood actress whose fitness TV program gets cancelled due to her age. By fortuitous circumstances, she learns about the substance, a miraculous black market drug that duplicates cells to create a younger, better version of oneself. She takes it, but she gradually fails to respect the required balance. Hey there, Luke Ripa here, and welcome to my review of The Substance, Coralie Farjad's body horror that premiered at Cannes this year starring Demi Moore, Margaret Qualley, and Dennis Quaid. Before I start talking about what already is a cult classic, be sure to subscribe and follow Wikos on all socials we are on. You can find Wikos on YouTube and X as Wikos Official, on Instagram and Facebook both as Wikos English and Wikos Official, on TikTok as Wikos TikTok, and on Twitch as Wikos Twitch. Do so and you won't miss any of the Wikos reviews and content. As you might have guessed, given the intro, this movie is very much an allegory about accepting yourself and the dangers of not doing so. But that would describe only the principle behind the drama that motivates Elizabeth's initial actions. After that though, The Substance idea tackles so much more. Show business, lack of empathy, sexism, body dysmorphia, drug abuse. All things that would be part of a movie showing the danger of the entertainment world. In a way you feel you already saw such stories and shouldn't be any interesting. But if someone told you want to tackle those topics by taking them to the extreme and by having Oscar Wilde in the picture of Dorian Gray meet David Cronenberg's The Fly, wouldn't that be actually interesting? That's essentially The Substance, and I don't think there's a better way to put it. Written and directed by Coralie Farjad, here at her second feature, the film is extremely ambitious and reaches every height it wants to reach and does so very wisely. So let's start with the story itself. It actually is very basic and it literally is what, again, I told in the intro. It's simple to the core. Everything is told mostly through imagery that explains most of what's going on. Whether it's the spacious and geometrical environments, the use of popping colors, the witty dialogue, the brutal editing, and everything in the story kept to a minimum. The latter is not a problem. This really is a fable, and as such you don't care about the lack of realism here and there. Anyways, all of this is really rare to find in a mainstream movie nowadays. And of course, it's unsurprising Universal decided not to distribute the movie despite their deal with working title. Even as a focus feature release, it would have been a tough sell for the studio. That said, everything is very effectively presented so that anyone can understand what's going on. And it's also really funny at times, as Farjad doesn't hold back at the irony of the situation. It could sound like an oxymoron given the movie is an aggressive body horror. The Substance has no mercy in showing the horrific nature of the drug and the consequence of its abuse. I consider myself to have a fairly strong stomach, but even I found myself disturbed at the times. Don't get me wrong, this is not at all a flaw. The film has to be disturbing, and not because of its body horror nature, but because of the themes and the messages it wants to deliver. Had it been softer, I wouldn't be here talking about how impactful my viewing was. It's just that I think it's funny. It's so easy to follow but very hard to watch, making a story with very strong messaging being experienced by just a few. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Of course, everything is enhanced by the superb cast. Demi Moore is absolutely excellent. She lends herself and her body to the cause, giving us a complex and layered performance that you really empathize with. The date scene, most of all, was heartbreaking. You really feel the entire emotional roller coaster she goes through, and she does a fantastic job in delivering every single moment. Even when prosthetics come into play, she doesn't shy away, rather she takes ownership of everything put on her. She does make Elizabeth Sparkle into an iconic character, giving us a performance for the ages. And really Oscar-worthy. I don't know if she will succeed, given it's a movie for a few, but I really wish she will. Margaret Qualley probably never looks so sexy. I don't mean for it to be a sexist comment, but that's the point of her character. She plays Sue, the younger version of Elizabeth that is created by The Substance, and she does a great job. What impressed me is that she doesn't mimic Demi Moore mannerism, but rather how Elizabeth would act if she found herself in a 20-something body. Playing up her physique and youthness made Sue all the more realistic. So sexy, but with purpose, and when it came to drama, she delivered every single punch she set out to. Dennis Quaid plays Harvey, the producer of the fitness show. Aside from the obvious parallelism given the name, it does play the character archetypically by mixing Mr. McMahon with over-the-top suits and their dressing. He does a great job at being slimy but not overly vulgar, and in a way this role could be the start of his comeback. And yes, despite being an indie movie, the special effects and prosthetics are well done and convincing. Overall, I give The Substance a 9 out of 10. Really one of the best films of the year, and if you have the stomach, you should absolutely go watch it. That's it for this review. Did you watch The Substance, and what did you think about it? Do you agree with my take? Let me know down in the comments. Remember to leave a like if you liked the video and subscribe. My name is Luke Ripa, and I'll see you next time.